All right. Well, happy, beautiful, amazing evening. Dr. Bob Rakowski here out of Houston, Texas, with this week's edition of A Path to Better. And, the beautiful thing about this path is it's really not just one. There are many paths, and it can lead to a little better, a lot better, or maybe even possibly life-changing, infinitely better. But let's start with the story. I don't know if you've ever had your life pass before your eyes. I have, and this wasn't the case. It wasn't that I was in the wave and I saw a massive shark that could gobble me in about a moment. I tell people that that would have been less scary. That this type of life flashing before my eyes was an X-ray report where a radiologist saw something on it that he didn't want, and he was recommending a bone scan. I would have thought that cancer would have been an absolute impossibility. But you know what? My best friend thought that, and he had a skin cancer and melanoma. And by the time it was diagnosed, it spread through his brain and body. And it wasn't a good ending, So I thought, okay, what am I going to do? What if my time is coming to an end? And you know what? Who's going to take care of my wonderful family? Even though I was successful in business, my business depended upon me. So I remember this wisdom: your network is your net worth. So the first question I have to ask you is, do you believe that this is true? And if you don't, you're very unusual. But if you do know it to be true, like I do, are you open to this concept working for you? Because if you are, we have ways to help you build your network with proven products, proven services in a proven company with a global market. And we'll dive into that. So a little background on me. I've been in clinical practice as a chiropractor, kinesiologist, functional medicine specialist for over 30 years. And I've had the joy of treating world champions from every major professional sport. And I've seen the other end of the spectrum, people that were sent home to die. I've also traveled over 30 years to 6 different continents, teaching doctors about health and nutrition. So it's something I know a lot about. And here's what I can tell you. The products that we're going to share are healthiest, cleanest, absolutely best in class. And of course, I'm a family man, beautiful wife, 3 children, and my 4th granddaughter is on the way, due in February. So we are expanding and thriving. So here's an interesting question for you. Can you enjoy, or at least learn to enjoy, sharing a better, delicious cup of coffee or tea? Now, think about that for a moment. Who doesn't enjoy a cup of coffee or tea? The right coffee at the right time can be absolutely magic. Could you enjoy that? And if you can, you've got a big step towards creating a phenomenal business. My next question for you is, would it be okay if we paid you to introduce people to better choices? So I mentioned coffee and tea, but there's also hot chocolate for kids, or shakes that taste like liquid birthday cake and melt off the pounds. We have a brain technology that's been proven in over 20 years with over 50 clinical studies, again, in every demographic. We have a brain energy drink. We've got an all organic, amazing skincare line. And then we've got partnerships with over 100,000 resort locations around the world where you can save up to 80% on luxury travel. So here's what we know. We have great choices, better choices, and absolutely something for everybody. So I'll ask it again. Would it be okay if we paid you to introduce people to these better choices? And then the next question is, would it be okay if we paid you to introduce people to a business system that multiplies time, money, and effort? So I show the picture of Ed Mylett here. He's one of Forbes' richest 50 under 50. He made his first tens of millions in this business model in network marketing. And now he's, multiplied that into hundreds of millions with the skills that he learned. So network marketing is endorsed and promoted not only by Ed Mylett, but Grant Cardone, Sir Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, Paul Zane Pilsner. Warren Buffett owns 3 different network marketing companies, and he'll tell you dollar for dollar, they're some of the absolute best investments that he's ever made. And many of these people and their endorsements are chronicled in the documentary Rise of the Entrepreneur. And you can watch that on YouTube, easy enough. And what I'll tell you is, you look at this and you come to realize that this is absolutely a better model. When you start looking at traditional business, it's the average cost up is about $55,000. And then keep in mind, the probability of that business still being in business just 10 years down the road is about 4%. And people that start a new business, they work 12, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. And guess what? Their business is basically limited to, maybe a 10-mile radius around where they are. But here you can join our business for $49.95. You work whenever you want, as much or as little as you want. Work around whatever schedule you want. And we call it passive income because once you start your business rolling, the money keeps coming in. The company does all of the extreme things like the accounting, the legal, the compliance, the manufacturing, the shipping, the global compliance, everything else. So this is the absolute easiest way to start in a business. And again, that's why many of these icons say this is absolutely the best business model to start. And by the way, we have award-winning products. So our King of Coffee just won an award as the best organic coffee. And by the way, when you start with us, you get access to the King of Coffee, many other products. You get a website, merchant account, all the business licenses, production, shipping, etc., taken care of by Organo. There's plenty of people that are in medicine that are saying that, maybe you should avoid coffee, even though there's plenty of data that says that, it can be pretty good for you. But here's what I'll tell you. Our coffee has something in it that overcomes absolutely all of the negatives of coffee. And I put the references next to this because anybody can type in their Google search engine, PubMed ID, and then the number that follows, and you'll find out that this coffee with Ganodermin is actually good for blood pressure. People can sleep wonderfully. They don't have crashes and rises, and it's gut friendly and all these wonderful things. And it's quite simply a much better product. I like learning from people that know. So John Paul DeJoria is one of the co-founders of Paul Mitchell Hair Products. And he tells people, you know what? You don't want to be in the sales business or in the selling business. Why? Because you make a sale and you get paid. But guess what? You don't get paid until your next sale. But he does say we all want to be in the reorder business. And I couldn't imagine a better reorder product than coffee or tea or skincare, things that people do every single day. But we'll focus on coffee. Over 2 billion cups consumed every single day. Every country has it. I don't know that I've ever been to a restaurant that didn't have coffee on the menu. It is that universal. And here are the facts. The average coffee drinker drinks 3.3 cups a day. You multiply that by 365 days a year. That means 1,200 cups over a year. So people that are introduced to this better coffee 10 years ago, I did the work once. I've been paid now over 12,000 times. I'm growing every single day. And guess what? People can set up an auto ship where they click one time, put in their credit card, and every single day of the month, the coffee arrives at their doorstep. And guess what? You get paid automatically. And our product is pandemic proof. So nearly half of all coffee drinkers actually increased their coffee consumption during the pandemic. So many sages of business will tell you that, you want to look at 5 things when looking at a new opportunity. You want to look at the company, the products, the support, the timing, and the money. So I'm going to go through all of these things. So here's a picture of Organo's corporate headquarters, nearly 15 years in operations now. They're in over 40 countries. And I like to say that they're leveraged. Why? Because they have so many different products and so many different ways of introducing the products, pandemic proof, and a reorder business. And here's a current listing of the 40 countries that they're in and expanding. And in fact, we're going to be announcing a few new country openings in October. Our quality certifications, this is super important to me and the patients that I serve. Consider I treat elite professional athletes, Olympic athletes, and they need to know what they're putting in their body is super clean. So Organo, GMP certified, USDA certified, organic, EcoCert, kosher, halal. I don't know of any other nutrition company that has all of these quality certifications. And then Organo has what's known as the speed of trust. And Stephen Covey wrote a book about that. But here's what he said, nothing is as fast as the speed of trust. Nothing is as fulfilling as a relationship of trust. Nothing is as inspiring as an offering of trust. Nothing is as profitable as the economics of trust. Nothing has more influence than the reputation of trust. So the Organo products trust was multiple years and millions of dollars in the making. And currently they have these 4 products, and soon all the products that they offer You can scan a barcode and figure out where did the raw materials come from, what type of testing did it go through. So you know there's no herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, mycotoxins, you know, the buzzwords that people are worried about. And then manufactured in a super clean facility, USDA certified organic, on and on. And that's part of the reason why we won the award as the best organic coffee. But all of our products will soon have the ability to find out where did everything come from. Now, you might ask, why would Organo put all this money and effort into this? Well, very, very simply, we have a competitive advantage. We have the cleanest, best sourced products in the entire industry. And by the way, how do I like to build? Now virtually. You know, there was a time where we'd build in person, but I might start a conversation on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever you like to do. And after we have an exchange of information, people might say, well, Bob, tell me about you. And here's how I reply. I've invested in a healthier gourmet coffee and tea company. And you know what? I would love to gift you some samples. And if you like them, I'd like to earn your business. You know, it's literally that simple. Now, how many people say yes to this? Almost everybody. And we send out samples, and that leads to expansion of customer base or possibly even business partners. We like to describe our coffee as guilt-free and turbocharged because it's all of those things. And this young lady actually lost 57 pounds just switching her latte. And you might ask, how is that possible? Well, if you go to PubMed.gov and type in Ganoderma and blood sugar, you're going to find out that Ganoderma is powerful for blood sugar and fat loss and the immune system and health and anti-aging and all of these great things. And so people can literally have their cake, or in this case, their mocha, and enjoy it in a guilt-free way. Organo also has shakes that taste like liquid birthday cake, but are absolutely powerful at melting off the pounds. So fun story here, Frank. Was this picture before introduced to Organo shakes, and then just quite simply 10 months later, 100 pounds and feeling better than he had in a long, long time. Their organic skincare line is known as BU. And we say with that, you can have beautiful confidence, not only that you'll look good, but you'll actually nourish your body, mind, and spirit with what you put on your skin. So it's becoming progressively known that many skincare products have horrific toxins in them, things that can be linked to cancer or birth defects or reproductive harm in both men or women. So now we have skincare that is nourishing to the body, mind, and spirit, and does a phenomenal job keeping our skin beautiful and healthy. And then finally, luxury travel, up to 80% off, partnerships with over 100,000 resort locations all over the globe. Every time I travel, I use Travala to save money on hotels and rental cars and things like that, and certainly luxury vacations. And most recently, they partnered with a company called NeuroTracker that has a brain development software that's been proven over the course of the last 20 years, over 50 published medical studies. This is actually NFL quarterback Matt Ryan training his brain with NeuroTracker. You know, if you are willing to invest just 6 minutes 3 times a week, you can get a much better brain. And it doesn't matter if you're 6 years old or 106 years old. Anika McPherson is one of my wonderful patients. She is an Olympian, a national champion, a world team member. She wants a better brain, and so she uses our brain energy drink called CXT. I have a nice video of her on my YouTube channel. When I try to play it through Zoom, that doesn't play very well, but here's what she says. You know what? I love this. It gets my brain focused. I can train better, jump better. Everything's better with a better brain. So the total package of what we offer, we like to tell people you can achieve time freedom, money freedom, location freedom, health, beautiful confidence, a better brain, and ultimately a better life, as much or as little as you want of that. But now a classic line from Tom Cruise, you know, show me the money. So how much money is in here? Well, I'll tell you what, a ton if you want to go get it, just that simple. But let me talk about the easiest $5,000. What if you just switch your coffee and you're an average coffee drinker? So, you know, I was a big Starbucks guy and I'd pay $2 a cup for black coffee. Well, now I actually get it at about 60 cents a cup, but, you know, retail, we might retail it for $1 a cup. And that means that just by switching my coffee, I was going to save $100 a month or about $1,200 a year. And then now you have a home-based business. And very, very simply, it's easy to get tax deductions. And it's estimated that the average home-based business has about $4,000 a year in tax savings. So very real benefit there. But now let's start putting money in your pocket. So if you had 10 average coffee customers drinking their 3.3 cups a day, at that point, you would earn a magic number of $500 a month. Now, why do I say that's magic? That's about the majority of people that start a home-based business. If they could get that extra $500 a month, their life would be very, very different. You know what? And about half of the people that do it say, oh, you know what? I don't think I could pay my bills without that. So we know that the world needs what we offer. But imagine that those 10 customers said, you know what? This is really, really good. And by the way, I know you're making $500 a month. Do you think I could do that? Well, the answer is sure you could. So, you know, those 10 actually get their 10. And guess what? If they get 10 that say, I want to build this business too, the next octave is 1,000 and then ultimately 10,000. And here's what I can tell you. This is where the money gets very, very nice. And we have people in Organo certainly earning above the industry average. But Richard Bliss Brooke is one of my top mentors. I really appreciate him and his journey and his wisdom. But he says, you know what, there's a lot of companies in network marketing. The average company pays about 7%. And, you know, my personal experience, Organo pays more than that if you build a good team. So picture you get 10,000 people and they're just purchasing $50 a month. That's very, very reasonable. Most people spend more than that on coffee. Anyways, so how does the math work out on that? $35,000 a month. So, you know, we're not going to claim you can do that, but that's how the math works. And plenty of people have done that and much, much more. I also like to talk about the time benefits. You know, if you imagine if you could work 50 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, that's 2,500 hours of productive effort that you get paid on. But if you had those 10,000 people just put in 15 minutes a day or 1/4 of 1 hour a day, that equals actually 2,500 hours a day. So people in their spare time can produce for you more productive time than you could in more than a year of full-time effort. Then I'll tell a few stories, you know. So Emily Morrow is one of our absolutely amazing team members. And I tell people, you know what, she does not have any before pictures that she's willing to share. Why? Because I was introduced to Emily by our chiropractor. He says, you know, I've got this beautiful young lady. She's got some serious stuff going on. She's jaundiced. She's overweight. She has no energy. She's not having any success in medicine. Do you think Organo products could help her? You know, my answer is always the same. I don't know if they'll help, but they sure won't hurt. So if you look at her after picture, absolutely beautiful, healthy, thriving. And yeah, Emily has built a multi-million-dollar business just by sharing on Instagram. And Diane, I don't know if you're able to unmute and share, but I always love your story. You know, we start out with the before Organo picture and then some of your incentive trips. So happy, beautiful evening. Always good to see you. Are you able to share?
I am, Dr. Bob. Happy night. I apologize. There's just mompreneuring in the background. And that's exactly it. You know, it's funny enough, I was just driving this way and realizing how grateful I am that you introduced me to this business model just about over 7 years now, because it changed my life. You know, this is a business model you can build around your life and not your life. Well, actually, no, it's your life around your business, right? So you choose how you want to do it. But I needed that. I needed the time flexibility and also the income. Because here's what I learned. You can have one or the other, but you can't have both. And that was my story. You know, 20 years of health and wellness practitioner office, didn't get past the financial ceiling. And it wasn't until I became a single mom that I panicked. And that's when I realized something has to change. And I didn't know what that was. I didn't have any skill sets outside of health and wellness, because that's what I studied and I'm passionate about. And that's when you introduced me to Organo model. Now, I didn't understand the business, but I did understand the product, and the product, hands down, outstanding. So I just got busy learning more around the business model, understanding how this really works, the math, and it was just astronomical. So I just went to work. I just did what you told me to do, shared coffee, taught people to do the same, and it just exploded bit by bit by bit. And here I am today looking back going, you know, I never would have imagined I'd be here now, but I am, and I'm forever grateful because now, you know, this is my full-time thing, and I've been able to leave practice and travel the world and just be home with my son, which is what I want to do. So it's really about choices and having the choice to do whatever it is you want.
Well,
That's freedom.
big shout out to you, you know, single mom taking care of not only your son, but your mother, you know, and so many different things to do. And you found a way to build. And how wonderful. And these, by the way, are pictures from Organo incentive trips. So it was you and I and probably 30 plus other people that won these trips. I believe this was in Roatan, and this just happened to be in Bali. So how wonderful. And guess what? When travel opens up again, Organo is ready to give us some better vacations than ever. So what does it cost to join our team? $49.95 gets you a website, a merchant account, active in 40 different countries, with all of the products that I mentioned, and you have access to all of them at wholesale. So guess what? You can sell them at a profit. We often recommend that, getting some coffee customers, or you can let people know there's 3 options. You can be a retail customer. Hey, I'm happy to sell it to you. You could be a wholesale buyer. Why not save a little money? Or if you're like me, you could get paid to earn and to share the products and build a team. And that's what we've done. So then the company has 3 different packs, good, better, or best. If you buy their setup product packs, they'll pay you more money in more ways. Their biggest pack is called the Boundless Pack. In fact, if you want to make a run for what we call the Global Growth Bonus, and here's what I'll tell you, you know, Organo, in their first 90 days, you can earn an extra $9,000 in bonus. And if that's what you want to do, we're ready, willing, and able to help you and lead you to that. We get enough people in front of the information that can happen. The Boundless Pack, over $1,300 in product, and that's a good step towards your global growth bonus. And in the first 30 days, if you get 8 business partners that get that pack, guess what? There you are. And as I like to tell people, the worst thing that can happen to you is you just won't have to buy these products for a while. And if you take them all, you'll get healthier and enjoy the process. And then Organo has an event coming up. So they always have an event promotion. They are going to be releasing a brand new and very exciting product, but you literally get over $770 worth of products and perks for $495, and you start out getting paid at the highest level. So is the global growth bonus doable? You bet it is. Everybody on stage here won the global growth bonus. And interestingly enough, you know, many more every single month all over the world. So we start looking at the company, nearly 15 years of experience, great products, global expansion. You know, you look at the support, the company does all the major stuff, and we've got one of the top teams, and you know, many say actually the top team in all of Organo, ready, willing, and able to support in any way that we can. I couldn't imagine better timing. You know, the world is looking for both health and wealth. And then the money, well, you can make a little or you can make a whole lot. And people have earned tens of millions of dollars in Organo. So I'm going to wrap up with 4 questions. And when we wrap up tonight, by the way, we also have a team training afterwards. So we'll transition right to that. But here are the 4 questions. The first question is why? Why'd you take the time to join us tonight? There's so many other things you could do. Second question is the answer to the first. Why not? Why not put better products in your body, save money doing it, sign up for the business and get that tax advantage? And by the way, that's the first 5,000 and really almost an automatic 5,000. The next question is why not you? Someone's going to say, you know what, this makes sense. And if it makes sense, it'll make a lot of money. And here's the final question. Why not now? So here's the reality. The longer you wait to act on information, the least likely you are to act on it. So your call to action is simple. Go back to whoever referred you to this Zoom, this Facebook Live, the YouTube replay, Facebook group replay, or however you got it, and say, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready for a path to better. So as we wrap this up, I always let people know I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful.